speak.
Yes, yes, Maharaj. So, Maharaj, you can speak at 10:15, Maharaj.
10-15 minutes I have to speak, right?
No, at 10 o'clock, 15 minutes. How others go?
10-15.
Maharaj.
I don't know, because 10 o'clock job will start. I have to sit in Jogya.
Okay, then I will arrange a fast lunch. So what we will do is earlier we will start and then after that we can take it.
The Pandal, Bhadra Purnima Pandal.
Okay. I will arrange the Maharaj. We will starting.
You come to know that it's right. Yeah. यहाँ तो हम you come to know that it's right. Yeah. यहाँ तो हम No, but it was Gurukul is also ready. Boys are.
Can start?
1 second, bro.
Yeah.
No, but it was
Ashubha also comes.
Boys are. It's live from
Start.
One.
Hare Krishna. We welcome all the devotees who have joined us online, the leaders, and also devotees in the congregation and the full-time devotees for this Bhadra Purnima Yajna, which is happening in Mayapur. And along with that, we also many wonderful devotees who will come and join us one by one and give inspirational address on the pretext of the Bhadra Purnima celebration at Mayapur. So on behalf of ICC, welcome you all. At this time, we'll begin our proceedings. First with ICC Chairman Sahadev Prabhu to give some words of enlightenment, and then we will move on to Vasu Ghosh Prabhu, and then His Holiness Bhakti Vijay Bhagavad Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Sahadev Prabhu, please take over.
You're muted.
Jai Srila Prabhupada book distribution ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you, Baladev Prabhu, and all the ICC book distribution team members. This effort to focus on book distribution is the foundation, is the cutting edge like a train has many things, but the most important part is the engine which drives the train. You have got pantries important, coaches are important, but body has many things. But first and foremost comes the heart. You can't do without it, even for a minute or two. So this is the heart of our movement, book distribution. This is the cutting edge. When the ships go to North Pole, to where the oceans, they freeze in the northern hemisphere, they have to have the cutting edge to cut the ice to reach their destination. Now, this is the cutting edge. Without cutting edge, nothing will work in that ship. So this is the cutting edge of our movement. So this should be the, whatever we may do, we should never forget, because Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, our acharyas have repeatedly emphasized Guru Mukha Padma Vakya. And last thing is, this books, actually, I was remembering this morning, Srivas Pandit Prabhu of Myanmar, how they got the book. He was a doctor's son. So the group of Buddhist doctors went to New York, and a devotee said, he was distributing outside their convention hall. They asked him, is this Buddhist book? He said, he showed them Dashavatar and said, yes, sir, this is a Buddhist book. When they came back to hotel, they realized it's a Hindu book. They wanted to throw it away. One said, our doctor friend in Rangoon, why don't we just give him? So that doctor, they went and they gave him, and doctor was not religious at all. He just kept it away. Now, 25 years after, a grown-up son, a 21-year-old grown-up son wants to learn English. So dad says, come and have a look at my clinic in my library. Yeah, I have many books. And he finds Bhagavad Gita, Srivas Pandit Prabhu. And he was the foundation. He led the foundation for this movement in Myanmar, Burma, formerly Burma. So point is, this is the Acharya's work. Now, Bhagavatam, when we are distributing, we are actually giving association of the Acharyas. We are giving the Srila Vyasadeva himself, installing him in the homes. We are installing Shukdev Goswami, the Pandavas. We are installing all the commentators whose teaching Srila Prabhupada has summarized, entire Sampradaya. The mercy we are installing in people's heart and homes. So please continue this most important role. Let us never forget our family business. The central point of our life and soul, of ourselves and this movement, that is book distribution. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Sadhya Prabhu, for your words of inspiration. I see that for last so many years, whenever we had our Bhadra campaign or Marathon Warriors campaign in December, or be it Chaitanya Charitamrit, for every program, Sadhya Prabhu diligently has made himself available in spite of his busy schedule to be on time in the beginning of the program. Throughout the program, he was there, and at the end also he gave closing address. This shows Prabhuji's commitment for book distribution. Thank you, Prabhu, for inspiring all the ICC leaders, and especially the book distribution team working under you. Thank you, Prabhu. So at this time, we have his guest Basu Ghosh Prabhu, who has joined us from America. Right now, it's past 11 in the night for him. So we'll take him for him first, and then immediately after that, Vijay Bhagavat Maharaj is also waiting to start the Mayapur again. Over to you, Basu Ghosh Prabhu.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Jayamudhirayet Nashta Prayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatityuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. So, Srimad Bhagavatam is the focus of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So many shlokas of Bhagavatam glorify the Bhagavatam. And the 12, 13, 13 shloka about Bhadra Purnima, distributing Srimad Bhagavatam on Bhadra Purnima, glorifies this day. So, as we probably all know, during the lifetime of Srila Prabhupada, he stressed book distribution because ISKCON is a preaching movement. Our aim is to convince the world to take up Brahminical culture, to reform a misguided world, a world where every day people are killing animals, millions of animals, to satisfy their tongues. But it's a highly sinful activity. And Prabhupada was able to spread the mission. And in the 45 years since he left this world, ISKCON has grown leaps and bounds, particularly in Bharata. And Bharata is now leading the world in book distribution. So many languages. Srimad Bhagavatam has been printed in its entirety. And so many devotees are engaged in distributing the books. Still, there's much to do. It won't end until society takes up Vedic culture. Our business will be to continue to convince on an individual level the members of society to take to Bhagavad Dharma. So Bhagavad Dharma also means Sanatan Dharma, Varnashram Dharma. Not only the books should go out, but what's in the books, Prabhupada's guidance for humanity, should be followed. And we can see that modern society is not following. It's just a handful, seemingly handful. But compared to when Prabhupada began the movement, the movement is expanding like anything. And ISKCON has become a talking point for the whole India now, thanks to some what is it? Statement of opposition. Prabhupada had said that if there's opposition, that means we are preaching. So it shows that ISKCON's preaching is affecting the whole society. And in India, there are so many centers of ISKCON now. It looks like a lot more centers are going to come in the future. So certainly Prabhupada is pleased. And distributing thousands of sets of Srimad Bhagavatam in connection with Bhadra Purnima is very pleasing to Prabhupada. So books are the basis. Books are the basis means that the teachings of Vedic literature that Rupa Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami quoted from Brahma Yamala in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhim Vina, Aikantiki Harer Bhakti Rutpata Yaiva Kalpate. Bhakti without reference to Vedic literature is just a disturbance to society. So the propagation of Vedic literature is very, very important. To understand the teachings of Vedic literature is very, very important. And without making the Vedic literature popular, society won't change. So we're patient. Prabhupada was very optimistic. There's great hope for changing the society. So, he spoke many optimistic words in his lifetime. And his desires are being fulfilled slowly. Maybe not all at once, but it's making a difference in the world. So go on spreading the movement, distributing the books, distributing Srimad Bhagavatam to give the proper education to the members of humanity. It's regrettable that in India, they're spending thousands of crores of rupees on modern educational institutions instead of propagating the ancient Vedic culture. Prabhupada regretted that verbally and in his purports on many occasions. So institutions that teach Vedic literature, institutions that teach the traditional Vedic syllabus is the need of the hour. The need. We see the Gurukul boys getting ready to perform the Yajna on Bhadra Purnima. And that's a type of training that Prabhupada desired. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time. I know there are many speakers, and they all have something important to contribute here today. So, having said a few words, I'll end now. And hope that my words might have given some inspiration to those who are distributing the Bhagavatams all over Bharata. Hare Krishna. Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Namo Namaha. Thank you, His Grace Bhashagul for joining us. In spite of your different time zone in US, you are there, but you still came so late in the night. That shows your special mercy on all of us. So on the behalf of ICC and ICC Bhadra Purnima campaign team, we want to thank from core of our heart for joining us today. Thank you for that.
Haribol.
So now the next speaker for us in this special program is His Holiness Bhakti Vijay Bhagwat Maharaj. Actually, words are very less to glorify Maharaj for his wonderful endeavor in ISKCON Mayapur for inspiring devotees to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam sets. I was informed that Maharaj is been doing pandal for Bhagavatam distribution since many days, in fact like a month or so. And last year we all remember that ISKCON Mayapur really broke all the records. 14,000 around Bhagavatam sets just went from ISKCON Mayapur. And the backbone, the inspiration was Jayapataka Maharaj and also Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj and all devotees, but the backbone and the pushing force, as Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj mentions that our Maharaj has got a right name, Vijay Bhagwat Maharaj. So right to his name, he was instrumental in doing this 14,000 Bhagavatam sets. So at this time, Maharaj is now going to start the Yajna and be also part of the Yajna. So we will not take much time. Maharaj, please speak some enlightening words and also give us some secrets of how we can do Bhagavatam sets today and also later. Thank you, Maharaj, for joining. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nidhamine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gopali Pachari Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Vasandesh. Baldavu, can you hear me, right?
Yes, Maharaj, we can clearly hear you.
Okay. in Bhagavatam says, Tadvak Visargha Janatago Vipnava Jasmin Pati Slokam Abandhavantavi Namani Anantasa Jaso Ankita Anijat Sridanti Gayanti Girnati Sadhava. Prabhupada written the translation. On the other hand, the literature which is full of description of transcendental words of the name, fame, forms, pastimes, etc. of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental quality directed towards bringing about the revolution in the empire's lives of the world, misdirected civilization. Such transcendental literature is imperfectly composed are heard, swung, and accepted by the purified man who are thoroughly honest. So this is the secret thing, whatever one of them who asking. Viplava. Actually, Mahaprabhu predicted Pitiviti Acharyato Nagaradi Gram Sarvatra Prachar Vaibhima or Nam. So all over the world, Mahaprabhu's name will be spread. Same way Narad Muni predicted. Viplava. Oh, Vyasdev, you compose Srimad Bhagavatam, I will distribute. Is the time being once Bhagavatam brings revolution, Viplava. This is the going on. This is the credit of Narad Muni, not for us. We Mayapur management, as every year, we organize Bhadra Purnima 7 days festival. So inaugurated by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. Fortunately, we have His Holiness Radharanath Swami Maharaj, Gauranga Prabhu, Dayaram Prabhu, and His Holiness Vaishnav Swami Maharaj. 7 days he gave talk on Bhagavatam, and 2,000 people from outside and locally almost 700 people, almost 3,000 people every day. They are listening Bhagavatam, and many are there sponsoring, and they are also personally pushing Bhagavatam to their relatives. So, according to my realization, that Bhagavatam itself says, Pivata Bhagavatam Rasamana. Bhagavatam is rasa, you know, rasa. The rasa means those who are going to read, realize, he will releasing rasa. But distribution also. Many people. I created one department, Grihastha department. All year they are pushing Bhagavatam side and collecting their address. And we are cultivating them to become devotees. And they are going to take initiation also. So there is a not only distribution, we are doing Bhagavatam. So many ways to serving Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam Mahatma says, Sada Sevya, Srimad Bhagavati. Somehow or other, you to serve Bhagavatam by distributing, by hearing, by talking, by sponsoring. We are encouraging people. So, this is right. Whatever Bharat was saying, this is our inspiration by His Holiness Jayapataka Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj. Also, we are very grateful to Vaisheshika Prabhu and his team brought up this project to engage us to serve Srimad Bhagavatam, and also ICC team, Sahadev Prabhu and team, Mahasabu, Baladev Prabhu, they are also encouraging, they are also always encouraging to distribute more Bhagavatam set. So I am grateful all of ISKCON Vaishnava, ISKCON Gurus, so giving opportunity to serve Srimad Bhagavatam. So thank you very much. I am begging blessings. I am begging Ashirvad to serve Bhagavatam, distribute more Bhagavatam, and bless Srila Prabhupada and Guru Parampara as well as Lord Sri Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Bhakti Vijay Bhagavatam Maharaj, for your inspirational talk. That verse which you chose was a very profound verse for the Srimad Bhagavatam distribution. And thank you also for giving an update of what's happening in Mayapur. You mentioned about the beautiful Bhagavad Saptah, 7-day Katha by Bhakti Vaishnava Ashray Maharaj and also many other devotees. Now Gauranga Prabhu, Radhanath Maharaj are also there, and especially thanking Vaisheshika Prabhu. So this is exactly our parampara that we endeavor, and ultimately the mercy is all from seniors. Thank you, Maharaj, for your
So
wonderful.
one thing that so encourageable, 7 Maharajas participated here in Mayapur, Bhagavatam Katha, and many other senior Prabhus also, and Brahmacharis. So encourageable. So we are so very grateful to especially Vaisheshika Prabhu and team that nice project brought us for us. Haribo.
Hare Krishna. So thank you, Maharaj, for joining us. And you can carry on, Maharaj, with the yajna, and we will show the footages of yajna time in and time out in this particular program. Thank you, Maharaj. So next, we are waiting for Loknath Maharaj to come. Meanwhile, we also have beautiful Gurukul children there in Mayapur who are going to chant beautiful auspicious mantras for all of us, so that all over the world devotees can distribute Srimad Bhagavatam sets. We go over to Nitai Madhav Prabhu in Mayapur Gurukul. Hare Krishna.
Hari Om Punando Jana Punando Mana Sadia Punando Vishwa Bhutani Jata Vrida Punirima Om Asya Karmana Punyana Bhavanto Bhravanto Om Punyana Om Punyana Om Punyana Om Gandhi Sama Gandhi Putrahi Vasavane Shikam Sashi Trishe Bhavani Shishurvate Bhaktya Sarvato Shakune Bhadramava Vishwato Shakune Punyamava Om Astakarmana Swasti Bhavanto Bhavanto Ayushmate Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Nahindra Vridashava Swasti Na Purusha Vishwaveda Swasti Nasta Vishyo Arishtadani Swasti No Brihaspati Om Astakarmano Vridya Bhavanto Bhavanto Om Ridyata Om Ridyata Om Ridyata Om Ridyamasto Yashvara Bhakvam Madhura Shvantara Bhutshu Srinakama Om Swasti No Govinda Swasti No Akshita Swasti No Vasudeva Vishnuda Swasti No Narayana Swasti No Padmanabha Purushottamam Swasti No Vishwaksheno Vishweshwara Swasti No Rishi Kesho Haridana Swasti No Vainagri Rohani Swasti No Anjana Siddhartha Swasti Mahan Shri Krishna Sachidananda Gana Sarveshwareshwaro Dharado Om Shanti Shanti Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janma Danseko Charte Shabhagina Swarat Tene Brahma Ridaya
Oh no, don't unmute. I think.
Yadavimaya Yatra Trisargo Mrisha Damna Svena Sadani Rashtapuhakam सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्म प्रोजित कैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणं सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्रमस्ति शिवं ब्रह्मत्वयोन्मूलनं किं वा परे ईश्वराः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यते दृष्टुर्विलक्षणाः शुभमुखसंहितं पिबता हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे राम राम
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much to all the Gurukul students in Mayapur for sparing their time and chanting this auspicious invocation, Swasti Vachan, and also Srimad Bhagavatam verses. Hare Krishna. Let us thank them by 3 times chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you. So after these auspicious mantras, we have a very nice, wonderful, auspicious presence of His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj here now. Maharaj joined all the way from Nagpur, and we are thankful to Maharaj. Maharaj, please enlighten us, all of us here, for on the event of Bhadra Purnima Yajna happening in Mayapur. Hare Krishna Maharaj, over to you.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. My obeisances unto Vasudeva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. My obeisances unto Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam, which is non-different from Supreme Personality of Godhead. My obeisances unto Srila Prabhupada Ki, who gave us Bhagavatam, gave Bhagavatam to the whole world. And of course, Bhagavatam was given, recited by Srila Shukdev Goswami. He had been reciting this Bhagavatam for past 7 days. And today is a Purnahuti of that Bhagavad Katha of Shukdev Goswami. And in that Katha, the 12th canto, there's a mention of what we are doing here today, or we had been doing it for some time now, is Bhadra Campaign, the distribution of sets of Bhagavatam, Praustapadyam, Purnamashyam. So Praustapadyam, this is mentioned in Bhagavatam. This refers to Bhadra Purnima. And Bhagavatam is, well, not only recited, but specially distributed. They attend, the distributors attend the Param Gati, the supreme destination. So all those who took part in distribution of Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam and some of those winners also, I congratulate, and I could just remind you from the basis of Bhagavatam that your seat or post or position is reserved in Golok Vrindavan Dhamaki Param Gatim. So today is also the sannyas acceptance day. Srila Prabhupada took sannyas 1959. Prior to that, he had been publishing Back to Godhead Patrika and some articles, but as he took sannyas, he wanted to get into some serious writing books, compiling books. And the first book that he chose was Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam, which he translated and typed and composed and edited and proofread and got it published, all this single-handedly. And he also was distributing those Bhagavatams himself. And then finally, as he was ready, because he thought if he has to preach Krishna consciousness in the Western world and in English language, so he translated Bhagavatam in English language, and he always thought this just a talk won't be sufficient. There has to be the books. Books are the basis. So he wanted to have a book, and that Bhagavat book he wanted to carry with him as he traveled to the West. That time they were asking, Swamiji, are you going to America? And Prabhupada was replying, no, Bhagavatam is going to America. I'm just accompanying that Bhagavatam. So Prabhupada, who wanted to establish Krishna consciousness all over the world, Nagaradi Gram, Sarvatra Prachar, Hoibe, Mora Nam, he wanted his books to be the basis of, well, Krishna consciousness. And he encouraged book distribution, and that would be most pleasing. And he also said, preaching means book distribution. So we had been distributing, well, mostly Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam also. So we had been doing Bhagavad Gita book distribution or Bhagavad Gita marathon year after year after year. And then recently, I think Vaisheshika Prabhu, Bhima Prabhu, they got together and they came up with this campaign, Bhadra Purnima campaign, distribution of sets of Bhagavatam. And quickly, just in last few years, I think we have reached the target of what, distributing 60,000 sets of Bhagavatam this year. Is that, Vedant Chaitanya, is that the number? So all those who have done wonderful job, I just heard, this Bhakti Bhagavat Maharaj or Mayapur is leading the campaign in number of sets of Bhagavatam distributed, and others are just right behind. So, and we could see there is how much potential is there in future. It's going to be, well, we may be doubling. Why 60,000? Maybe it's double it and triple it. So sky is a limit. So Gita, and now people ask, oh, we already have Bhagavad Gita. But now we could, but you don't have Bhagavatam, sir. So now they could go for Bhagavatam. And I was also just thinking, Dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Lord appeared to establish dharma. Which dharma? Sanatan dharma, Bhagavad dharma. And by distribution of sets of Bhagavatam and bringing or even installing them in different homes, what are we installing? What are we establishing? We are establishing dharma there in that home, and of course in their minds and in their hearts. Dharma is being established and very solidly. Not that just I'm born in this religion, that religion, okay, Hindu religion, so hence I'm a Hindu. No, sir, of course. We are not very, the Hindu name is not very favorite name. Okay, I'm a Sanatani, I'm from a member of Bhagavad Dharma. Yeah, just because you're born in Bhagavad Dharma or Sanatan Dharma, that doesn't make you. You have to. Yeah. So this is where. So just the sentiments won't help you or anybody. There has to be philosophy also. Philosophy and religion. Philosophy and religion. I belong to this religion. These sentiments are not sufficient. There has to be philosophy. And the Bhagavad philosophy that Srila Prabhupada has presented, this will do the job complete of establishing Bhagavad Dharma, Sanatan Dharma. There are so many opposing elements. There's a talk of, we have to oppose Sanatan Dharma. Not only oppose, we want to eradicate Sanatan Dharma. This kind of nonsensical talks, proposals we keep hearing. So these fellows, they just do not know what is Sanatan Dharma. They just do not know what is Bhagavad Dharma. There is no question of, yes, this Bhagavad Dharma is eternal. Sanatan Dharma is eternal. Well, I think we have gone through something called a movie, the Kerala story, which was circulating all over the country, all over the world. So many young girls getting converted. And the trouble was they did not know nothing much about dharma that they were born in. They are sentiments. So they were exploited, they were confused, they were bewildered as they were hearing some other stuff or other talks, and they were getting converted. But if they had knowledge, or if their parents had shared that knowledge, or they had given this Prabhupada's books, read this, Bhagavad Gita as it is, read Bhagavatam, then there is no question of anyone getting converted. They will eternally, forever be members, practitioner members of Bhagavad Dharma, Sanatan Dharma. So the results, outcome, the consequences of distribution of Bhagavatam are enormous, and this is most essential that Bhagavatam is distributed far and wide, and that is what Srila Prabhupada's movement is doing. That is what Prabhupada personally started. The Srimad Goswami spoke Bhagavatam, and then that Bhagavatam was translated by Srila Prabhupada. He started distribution himself of that Bhagavatam, Gita Bhagavatam, and he encouraged us to distribute books. So we are happy to distribute books. So I'm happy also to. I haven't heard the final scores or reports, but I could imagine big reports, and so I'm sure this is going to be, well, not pleasing to me, but pleasing to all of us, and pleasing to Srila Prabhupada for sure, and ultimately pleasing Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also would be pleased. And then what more do we want? We are pleased. Everybody is pleased with these efforts. So let us keep doing this more and more. I think campaign is kind of officially ending today, maybe not. So those who have not completed their quotas, they could go on for some more time. distributing. I don't know whether Noida has done or others have done their quotas, but if they haven't, they could continue distribution of sets of Bhagavatam. And okay, so I'm just happy that the big yajna is being performed. It's like a Purnahuti today. Swaha, Swaha. So this is happening right there in Mayapur, ISKCON's headquarters. And so many senior devotees have arrived, gathered, participating in today's event. And I heard there are 7 days of recitation of Bhagavatam also happened in Mayapur. And so many Vaishnavas each day, another Maharaj was delivering Bhagavatam Katha. Well, this is very inspirational. And ICC is taking lead in organizing these kind of events. Bhagavad Gita Marathon, Bhagavatam sets of Bhagavatam distribution marathon, and ICC, and our Sahadev Prabhu, the chairman, and the team is always behind these efforts. So I congratulate them, thank them for this big yajna, distribution of sets of Bhagavatam. This yajna was going on, and unlimited number of devotees, leaders, followers have participated. So this is a joyous occasion for all of us. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Bhadra Purnima Bhagavatam distribution campaign ki jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Mayapur Dham ki jai.
Thank you very much, Maharaj, for your wonderful, inspiring talk. I would like to express my gratitude to Maharaj, and especially in front of all the devotees who are joined today, because since last 3-4 years, we are having these online programs, whether it is a marathon program or Bhadra Purnima program, and recently now Chaitanya Charitamrita Marathon. We always find that Loknath Maharaj always, wherever he is, he always makes it a point to join this program and give a live speech. So that shows how Loknath Maharaj is a very supportive figure for this wonderful programs of book distribution by the ICC. Maharaj has immense experience of traveling. Srila Prabhupada had given him the wonderful seva of going on a Padayatra, and Maharaj himself has spread Bhagavatam every town and village. Maharaj is also well known for his Bhagavad Kathas. So thank you, Maharaj, for your wonderful blessing. That was a very powerful talk. And indeed, Maharaj, by blessings, today is the date when actually devotees from all over India and all over the world will be distributing the maximum Bhagavatam sets. Please glance on all of us so that we can do more this time. The target for this year is set to be around 55,000 Bhagavatam sets. Last year it was 41,000, Maharaj. And we hope and pray that we could do and we can succeed on this plan. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. We also happy news here that the yajna has begun in Mayapur, very auspicious, and we would like to also spotlight that also, and everyone can take the beautiful darshan of yajna book, the wonderful Lord's Perseus yajna. So Bhadra Purnima yajna has officially started, and that will continue, and will in between also spotlight yajnas for devotees to take darshan in Mayapur. So we have Mayapur Dham and we have Bhadra Purnima yajna, double benefit for all of us. At this time, we have some more devotees to join in. Meanwhile, many devotees, senior devotees of ISKCON wanted to come in. Some of them could not come because of either Bhadra Purnima yajna in Mayapur or because of some of the temple openings in India, or some of them are abroad, so their times are not matching. But they are very kindly agreed to be part of this program, and they have sent their video recordings to us. So at this time, we will begin. And now the video recording of Vaisheshika Prabhu. As you all know, Vaisheshika Prabhu is a very instrumental figure in driving this book distribution all over the world. And because of his wonderful contribution, book distribution has got an impetus, and even ICC India has taken it up very, very strongly, and we are able to distribute a lot of books. So Vaisheshik Prabhu, his time was not favoring the time of India here. But considering that, he has sent his beautiful video recording. So now at this time, I request the organizers of this Zoom this session, kindly play the video recording of His Grace Vaisheshik Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
I offer you my humble obeisances, All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'm here at our temple at ISKCON of Silicon Valley, and I'm thinking of you, all of you there in India and all over the world, those who are participating in the Yajna tonight. We've fought long and hard against the forces of Maya to bring the Srimad Bhagavatam to the world. You've all given your heart and soul to this marathon to make sure that people get this greatest gem in human society. People are scrounging for a little wealth. They're going on strike. They're trying to find a way to get by in life, and it never works. Even if you make billions of dollars, there's still not enough zeros. But if one person reads the Srimad Bhagavatam, he or she feels satisfied. He or she feels that everything's in place, and my energy, my entrepreneurialism, my enterprising spirit can all be dedicated to Krishna. I can cook for Krishna, I can speak for Krishna, I can build for Krishna, everything for Krishna. This makes everybody happy. People in the world don't know this. They've never experienced the beauty of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Recently, I gave a set of Srimad Bhagavatams to a person I know in daily life, and that person put it up on his mantle and said that his whole house changed, and it did. It's amazing. The Srimad Bhagavatam is a deity, and this deity is especially for everyone in this age after Krishna has left. So this is a worthy cause. This is the tip of the spear for the Sankirtan movement to spread the literature that Prabhupada brought with him on the Jaladuta all over the world. It's an unassailable service. It's a high service. It's worth doing. It's worth putting our heart and soul into. People build bridges and they die for it. People go to wars and they die for it. Let's die for the Srimad Bhagavatam. At least die trying to get it all over the world. I offer you again and again and again my obeisances. I look forward to being with you to celebrate the results of the Bhadra Purnima as we move into yet the next blissful endeavor to distribute Srila Prabhupada's books. And let's go all the way to 2026 and hit at least 100,000 as a starting point so we can really start putting up some big numbers in the world. Let's trounce Kali Yuga. What do you say? Let's do it together. Hare Krishna. Gaur Premanande Haribol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. That was a very powerful message from the, we could call him the general of Sankirtan army of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at this time, Vaisheshika Prabhu. We got a chance to be part of the program where Vaisheshika was taking the updates from all the different devotees all over the world. And I could see that how the Vaisheshika was carrying that desire was coming out through the beautiful push which Vaisheshika was giving all over the world. How we should go ahead and not get relaxed and be happy with what we are doing. We go for more and more. And because of this Bhadra Purnima campaign, we can see that actually impossible is becoming possible. What was happening, only few sets or few sets in marathon of Bhagavatam would happen. Now, exclusive program for Bhagavatam set distribution is going on. And thanks to Bhima Prabhu's contribution and Vaisheshika Prabhu's contribution, both of them have really spearheaded this whole thing. And now we can see that 45,000 Bhagavatam sets were distributed last year. That's amazing. And it's just in Bhadra Purnima campaign. We also have Bhagavatam set distribution, even in marathon also. So thanks to our warriors in front who are inspiring us. And because of their wonderful inspiration, whatever we are doing feeble, just to please Srila Prabhupada and make a difference in the preaching in his whole of world. Thank you again for Vaisheshika Prabhu. The Yajna continues, and we also continue with our beautiful sessions here. We have A wonderful video recording of next. While we have Yajna is going on in Mayapur, we have a video recording of someone from Vrindavan. Srila Prabhupada disciple is Dinabandhu Prabhu. Ashton is recording to us. So let us hear what Dinabandhu Prabhu has. Words of inspiration for us. Hare Krishna.
Today, about this most auspicious Bhadra Purnima and the benefit that accrues to one who donates Srimad Bhagavatam on this holy day. So this is very great. And he was a great devotee of the Lord. And he had so much faith in Srimad Mahaprabhu. And he was always requesting Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to get an interview with Mahaprabhu. But Mahaprabhu said a sannyasi should not associate with king or such money-minded people. It is a big contamination. Even they requested him so many times, said, you go see him, I'm not going to see him. Yeah? So then during the Rath Yatra festival, the beginning of the Rath Yatra festival, the Lord sweeps in front of Lord Jagannath, and Mahaprabhu saw the king sweeping like a menial servant in front of Lord Jagannath. And he was very pleased and determined to give his mercy upon him. So Sarvabhauma told the king that sometimes Mahaprabhu rests in a platform in a garden during Rath Yatra festival. So please give up your kingly dress and go there dressed as a Vaishnava. Surely the Lord will bestow his mercy upon you. So King Prataparudra, he took off all of his crown and jewels and a kingly royal dress, and he dressed like a humble Vaishnava, and he entered the garden. He fell down at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was resting on a raised platform, and he touched those lotus feet and offered his obeisances. Then he began to recite one special chapter from Srimad Bhagavatam called Gopi Geet. And Gopi Geet is a very, very beautiful section of Srimad Bhagavatam. And it's got a very special type of alliteration where whatever word, whatever syllable the verse starts with, then after the second half of that verse will again start with that same syllable. So whole chapter is just like that. So he began to recite that chapter, and he came to the verse, Tava katha amritam tapta jivanam kavibiritam kalmasapaham Sravana mangalam Srimad Bhuvijanantige Bhuvidajana. As soon as Mahaprabhu heard this verse, he immediately got up, and without even knowing who this person was, he immediately embraced him, and tears began to flow through his eyes. And he just bestowed his mercy upon King Prataparudra. So this verse is one of my favorite verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, because he says, Tava katamritam, that your katamrit, tapta jivanam, just let me know, tapta kanchana gauranga, heated, those who were burning in this, tapta jivanam, those living entities were burning in this blazing fire of samsara. This is amrit for them, Tava katamritam, tapta jivanam, kavi iritam, it is recited by the kavis, the great sages. Kavi Bridi Kalmashapaham, and it destroys all types of sinful reactions. Sravana Mangalam, it is very auspicious to hear. Srimad Atatham, and it is filled with great spiritual power, especially when broadcast throughout the world. Bhuvi Jananti, when this whoever gives this, Buridhajana, whoever spreads this message of Srimad Bhagavatam, Buridhajana, he's the greatest, magnificent person. So this is the most auspicious thing to do on this holy day of Bhadra Purnima. We have this opportunity to sponsor or purchase a set of Srimad Bhagavatam to give to some person. So we should take advantage of this, because this is the greatest charity. Mahaprabhu just embraced King Prataparudra, although he wouldn't even see him before. He was embracing him and saying, Burida, Burida, you're the most magnanimous person. So this is the greatest charity that anyone can give. This is proven by the personal example of Prataparudra and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we're very pleased and we're very honored.
Hare Krishna. So thank you, Devaki. Thank you, Dina Bandhu. Sorry to having sent your recording and kindly be available in this form. We are very happy now that we have amidst us the presence of many senior ISKCON leaders. We have with us His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, also Mahaman Prabhu. Thank both of them for joining online for us. We will begin now with requesting His Holiness Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, who is waiting there, along with a big attendance of devotees sitting next to him, kindly address this forum. And after him, we'll have Mahaman Prabhu also addressing us. Thank you. Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, please start.
Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunnavadi Paschadistani. Yes, I am here. I am in the kingdom of Allah in Oman. So all our devotees are here sitting. They are hearing. In kingdom of Allah, there is Jagannath Holder Subhadra also here sitting. They can hear me. So yes, today is Bhadra Purnima. Bhagavan manifested in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. So because we have limited time, just to add to this endeavor of distributing Bhagavatam in every house, to every house. So one concept came to my mind when Janmashtami Day I was in Bangladesh, Dhaka. So we are celebrating 5,249th birth anniversary of Lord Krishna. 2023 is 5,249th. So next year, 24 will be 5,250th birth anniversary. So we are all celebrating 50th birth anniversary as Golden Jubilee. So 24th will be Maha Golden Jubilee celebration of Lord Sri Krishna. Okay. So when now we are celebrating Krishna Janmashtami 1 day, 2 days, 7 days. Actually, what we should do? We should celebrate for whole year Janmashtami. From now until 2024 Janmashtami, whole year we should celebrate the appearance of Lord Krishna. How can we whole year celebrate appearance of Lord Krishna? In Kali Yuga, Krishna is not appearing in Kali Yuga. He appeared in Dwapara Yuga. But yes, in Kali Yuga he appeared. Krishna Swadham Apagate Dharma Jnanadhi Visaha Kolo Nashta Dasamesa Puranar Ko Dhunadita. When Krishna left the planet along with the Dharma and Jnana, then he appeared in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. So our real celebration of 5,250th birth anniversary of Krishna is throughout year, each and every individual devotees should try to make Krishna take birth as many as house in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. So every devotee, every congregation can fill up a place form. Okay, this year for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada, Lord Krishna to celebrate his 5,250th birth anniversary, I will make sure 10 duties. So,
Maharaj, your sound is not audible. Maybe you can off your video then. Jai Mayapur Yajna ki Jai. So there was
are you
some.
still there? Haribol? I'm
Maharaj,
sorry,
you are
got
not,
this.
sorry, Maharaj, you are not able to hear you. Yes, Maharaj, continue to speak, Maharaj.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, Maharaj, now we can hear you.
That was my main point. So today is very auspicious day. Of course, Mayapur, our marathon of distributing Srimad Bhagavatam throughout year. We are doing this marathon of distributing Bhagavatam. But this is a great opportunity. We take advantage of this tithi. And now some other people have developed, because I have been seeing how people have developed a natural tendency towards these things. They're so eager to donate Bhagavatam to different sannyasis, to Guru Maharajas, and to different people. So it looks like Lord Krishna is very pleased. He's very merciful to the people of this earthly planet, that he wants to expand himself in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam to reach every. So thank you very much for organizing this program. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj. It is indeed very kind upon you that you, in spite of busy schedule in this beautiful part of this world, Allah's kingdom, Oman, that you came and also gave a talk to all of us. Maharaj, we recently heard that you were in Bangladesh and you inspired all the devotees there of Bhagavatam sets. And we are not sure what are the figure, but in 1 year's time, something like a 1 lakh Bhagavatam sets all devotees had distributed. Maharaj, really very inspiring to see you travel all across the globe and preach Bhagavad Dharma and also inspire devotees to Bhagavatam sets. Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Thank you so much. Haribol.
Thank you, Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj, for joining us. Now, Yajna is still going live. Very nice, beautiful Yajna going on. Meanwhile, we also have the beautiful presence of His Grace Mahaman Prabhu. Mahaman Prabhu is one of the very senior Srila Prabhupada disciples. Very stalled and standing figure, preaching in Madhya Pradesh, beautiful temple in Indore and all across the state, doing so much of preaching for so long years. Or Praneshwar Prabhu always mentions so beautifully about the efforts silently like behind the whole thing, pushing the movement of Srila Prabhupada in the difficult areas of Madhya Pradesh. And we have seen that Mahaman Prabhu is always there behind us, giving us support and also encouragement from.
Can I speak?
Yes, Prabhuji, you can please begin.
Yes, please go ahead. Thank you very much, Baladev Prabhu, and all the devotees there. First of all, I'd like to thank all the devotees, especially the ICC Forum, BBT, and other forums who have taken this initiative to distribute large numbers of Bhagavatam sets on this Bhadra Purnima. Although book distribution, Bhagavatam, going on throughout the year, we get special mercy by the benediction of Srila Sutta Goswami, who said that if we give this Bhagavatam on Bhadra Purnima, we directly enter the kingdom of God, Vaikuntha, spiritual world. Very nice benediction by Sutta Goswami. So, Nimna Ganam Yatha Ganga, Devanam Yatha Achyuta, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, Puranam Itam Tatha. Just as among the rivers, Ganga is the topmost. Among the Vaishnavas, Lord Shiva is the foremost. And among Devas, Achyuta is the foremost. Similarly, Bhagavatam amongst all the Puranas is the foremost. And Prabhupada, we all know, went to America with 2 trunks of Srimad Bhagavatam. And he himself personally distributed the first set of Srimad Bhagavatam to Captain Pandey, the captain of the Jaladuta. And actually, various statements by Srila Prabhupada and the Bhagavatam itself glorifies the Srimad Bhagavatam, that Parikshit Maharaj says one place that one who studies the Bhagavatam sincerely will have the Lord manifest in his heart very soon. Very, very soon. Na kalena. Very, very soon, the Lord personally will manifest in his heart. Srila Prabhupada wanted that every house should have Srimad Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also had said that wherever these 4 things, that is Tulsiyan, Gangayan, Srimad Bhagavatam, and Bhaktas, wherever there is Tulsi and Gangachar, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the association of devotees, the Supreme Lord himself is manifest, is present in this. And we are very fortunate that in the purpose of Srila Prabhupada, he has referred to the commentaries of all the great Vaishnava Acharyas, starting from Sridhar Goswami, and so many others, Viva Goswami, Viranaga Acharya, Rupa Goswami, then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. All the commentaries of the great Acharyas we find here in Srila Prabhupada's books. One of my most popular, my cherished statements of Srila Prabhupada. Of course, everything that Srila Prabhupada ever said is nectarian, and we take it very seriously to heart. But one statement I find most relishing about Srila Prabhupada. This is in the context of one reporter asking Srila Prabhupada, I see your movement is going very strongly, but what will happen when you die? So Prabhupada gave a very fitting answer. Prabhupada said, I will never die. I will live forever in my books, and they shall utilize. So we can perceive the presence of Srila Prabhupada in his books. And Prabhupada wanted that apart from distributing this book, we must also read these books. He told to one devotee, Bhagavat Das in Mumbai, that Bhagavat, I read my own books daily. And every time I read my books, I find something new in them. Then Prabhupada was silent for some time, and then he revealed the greatest secret. Prabhupada said that because I have not written these books, every morning Krishna comes and he dictates, and I have just given the written form to these books. So just like Srila Prabhupada conquered the whole world by these Bhagavatams, we can try in our own humble way to please Srila Prabhupada, because book distribution, Prabhupada repeatedly said, BBT is the heart of ISKCON, and it is also my heart. This is the most pleasing service to Srila Prabhupada. Books are like deities. There is no difference between Srimad Bhagavatam and the deities. So I will end here. Many other speakers are here. Thank you very much. And once again, I thank everyone who has participated. I heard that this year's target was something like 35,000 Bhagavatam sets. And by 2026, the target is 1 lakh Srimad Bhagavatam. Very incredible score. This is possible by the mercy of the Vaishnavas, by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Yajna ki jai. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mahaman Prabhu, for your wonderful inspirational talk for all of us. Yes, yes, Prabhu. This year we are having a target of 55,000 Bhagavatam sets, and by 2026 it has to be 1 lakh. But without the mercy of great Vaishnavas like all of you, it will be very difficult. So please kindly pray that we can do something on the ground level also and distribute these Bhagavatam sets.
Thank you very much, Baldev, and all the devotees. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So at this time, after Mahaman Prabhu, now we will have His Grace Gauranga Prabhu has sent his recording to all of us. So we'll play the recording of His Grace Gauranga Prabhu.
तदेव रम्यं रुचिरं नवं नवं तदेव शश्वं मनसो महोत्सवं तदेव शोकार्णवशोषणं नृणां युक्तम श्लोकेशो नुगीयते. The Srimad Bhagavatam is carrying pastimes of Krishna, is ever new, ever fresh. It is a festival for the mind and always enchanting to the hearts and souls. Srila Prabhupada spent sleepless nights writing the purports, commentaries to the Srimad Bhagavatam. Based on the sales of the Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world, with the money, Srila Prabhupada loaned this profits from the Srimad Bhagavatam sales from the BBT money to different parts of the world, based on which ISKCON was established in Australia, in Africa, in Europe, in India, and many other parts of the world. So, factually speaking, Srila Prabhupada had a global plan to establish ISKCON, and the major amount of Lakshmi for the construction of some of the temples and also for establishing ISKCON in various countries, it came from the distribution, the sale of Srila Prabhupada's books. So when we say books are the basis with respect to Srila Prabhupada establishing ISKCON globally between 1970 to 77, when things went outside of USA and Canada to Europe, to UK, to various parts of Africa, Australia, Southeast Asia, India, South America, etc. We can confidently say that Srila Prabhupada has established the entire ISKCON on the foundation of the books, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, it is a very, very important need of the hour that we try to share this knowledge more and more. I think, one of the things as a strategy which we should be working upon is try to revive the library party, because the library party was very active in those days. And although there are many libraries which have Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavatam, but considering the newly printed Bhagavatam and the new way in which things have been, the pictures and other things have been newly formed, I think the new edition of Srimad Bhagavatam looks very attractive. And apart from the various college libraries, we can also try to approach various other samajas, institutions, where people may be interested to make a bulk order and have some kind of a transformation through being educated in the message of the Srimad Bhagavatam. One more area which we can look at is, just like taking the cue from West Bengal and Mayapur, is the Srimad Bhagavatam in vernacular languages is something which has not yet been explored fully. And I think especially in the WIDC, there is a tremendous opportunity of distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam in the Marathi language, and many of our teams can explore opportunities for doing so. And just like what Mayapur has done for Bengali Srimad Bhagavatam, I think WIDC has to look at Gujarati and Marathi Srimad Bhagavatam sets and explore possibilities of how we can maximize the sales in each of these. So I think that's a very important area of strategy which both the Gujarati speaking and Marathi speaking book distributors and leaders should work upon in terms of strategy.
It's 6 o'clock.
So thank you very much again, Praneshwar Prabhu and all the others who were involved in strategizing and organizing this. It's very inspiring to see this.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Gaurang Prabhu, for your inspiring talk. Indeed, your ideas are very nice and nicely taken. We will definitely work on those ideas, especially the library party and taking the clue from ISKCON Mayapur as well. At this time, we want to play a beautiful recording of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. You all know Gopal Krishna Maharaj is a very, very important figure in the project of book distribution right from Srila Prabhupada days. Srila Prabhupada has given him a very important task of taking care of Srila Prabhupada's book distribution and also publishing and printing of the books. Gopal Krishna Maharaj wanted to be all with us here, but somehow or other at this time, there is a very important and very big yatra which Maharaj is taking in Haridwar. 10,000 devotees have joined that yatra. So Maharaj is physically not available to join online. But Maharaj has very kindly given his video recording. So we'll play the recording of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj at this time. Hare Krishna.
I want to thank the organizers of this program for trying their best to organize this program. I'm really happy that every year book distribution is continuing to increase. We all know Prabhupada placed a lot of emphasis on these books, especially the Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada struggled to print the first canto of Bhagavatam in India. And after he printed the first canto in 3 volumes, he thought that he now had the ammunition to go to the West. And after a great struggle, can you hear me clearly? Am I allowed
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj. Absolutely clear, Maharaj.
So once the first canto was published in 3 volumes, Papa decided now he can go to the West. He has the weapons to preach. And he went to the West. Prabhupada gave a lot of emphasis to the Srimad Bhagavatam. The Srimad Bhagavatam, as you know, is the ripened fruit of Vedic knowledge. And the Srimad Bhagavatam contains timeless wisdom. Srimad Bhagavatam is the most important scripture, and everyone can read it. Prabhupada had a strong desire that these books be published in all the languages, especially the Bhagavatam. After I came to India first, in March 75, the first assignment I had was to help translate these books. Prabhupada was very keen to publish his books in Hindi. So the Srimad Bhagavatam is a ripened fruit and is giving us transcendence. The Bhadra Marathon started a few years ago. It's funny that none of us really aware of this a few years ago. So, and the Bhadra Purnima, the marathon, has been producing very good results. You've seen that if devotees want to do something, they can do it. The Bhadra Purnima marathon started on a small scale and gradually went on increasing. And last year, I believe it was more than 30,000. Doing these sets is also not so easy. As you know, the donor gets the benefit, the receiver gets the benefit. Anyone who hears the Bhagavatam, he gets the benefit. So this Srimad Bhagavatam contains very deep knowledge, and it can be read by everyone. So devotees are making an effort. And our goal should be see that the Bhagavatam is distributed to every library in the country. Prabhupada himself, when he printed first Canto Part 1, he would go to the libraries. Prabhupada started the Bhagavatam exercise. It was a one-man army. Prabhupada was translating the book, coming to Delhi to get them printed, and then personally we'd go and distribute the book. Plus on top, he would even collect these books. Then when Prabhupada went to the West, Krishna sent him some nice devotees who helped expedite the book production. The Bhadra Purnima is a very good opportunity to get it all in the Bhagavatam distribution. The Bhagavatam has general knowledge, and the Bhagavatam can be read by everyone. Even in education institutes, even in education institutions, people are reading the Bhagavatam. So I want to thank Shekha Prabhu and others. We have to make an effort. Nothing comes without making an effort. And because of our expanded congregation, because our congregation preaching has expanded, we are seeing that all the Bhagavad congregation is very keen to have participated in this program. This program is for everyone. And we have seen that if we are united and make an effort, results will be there. Unfortunately, the cost of the Bhagavatam has gone up. As you know, the recent war between Russia and Ukraine has been disastrous for the book. The bulk of the pulp coming into India will come from these countries. And because of the war, the pulp is not so easily available. As a result, pulp has to be imported at very high prices. That has resulted in the cost going up. We're trying to bring it down. It's not so easy. It is unfortunate that prices are going up because it discourages people from spending, from buying these sets. Nevertheless, usually, enthusiasm of the devotees, the book Bhagavatam is being distributed nicely. Our goal this year, we should surpass last year's goal. Prabhupada personally told me, my books are distributed due to the enthusiasm of my disciples. So we should be enthusiastic. We should be convinced that these books can save humanity. These books have a solution to all our problems. We hope that we can work together and do book distribution, especially the Bhagavatam. Very soon, the Gita Marathon will also start. Sometimes people say, let's go on, there are too many marathons. Now the Bhadra Marathon and the Gita Marathon. I say, yes, the marathons are good. The marathons are good. They keep us out of trouble, keep us fully engaged. So it will be starting the Bhadra Marathon. And soon there will be the Gita Marathon. And Prabhupada said, marathon means less sleep, less eating, and working more. So let's work together to surpass last year's target. Prabhupada always said, double it. 100 degrees book distribution every year. So let's try to surpass last year's target. I'm sure we work together. We will be there. So thank you very much. Thank you to Shekha Prabhu. Thank you to all of you for organizing this program. We hope that the Bhagavatam set distribution and the Gita distribution will increase again this year. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki.
Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you very much, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. You really have emphasized the book distribution like anything, especially the point of marathon. As you mentioned beautifully that People may ask why so many marathons are going on. Right now we have the Bhadra Purnima marathon, then the book marathon in December, then again Chaitanya Charitamrita marathon. Around Janmashtami we have Srila Prabhupada Leela book marathon. As Maharaj, you very beautifully said that marathon keeps us busy so that we don't fall in Maya. Indeed, Maharaj, that's really the main crust of the whole engagement of devotees in distribution is to keep oneself engaged in Krishna consciousness. Because if there is no Krishna, jahan nahi Krishna tahan, jahan Maya nahi tahan Krishna. Where there is no Krishna, then Maya's grip comes into picture. Thank you again, Gopal Krishna Maharaj, for sending this beautiful video to us. At this time, we would like to invite one more. We will now show a recording at this time. We had from WIDC, His Grace Gauranga Prabhu speak. We had invited all the DC chairmen to also come and give their association on this forum. From WIDC, the WIDC chairman, His Grace Harshi Govind Prabhu, got busy in some important matters in ISKCON Ahmedabad, some services there. So he said he will try to join, but he was not sure. So Gauranga Prabhu's recording was as a part of WIDC offering. Now we have from SIDC, SIDC chairperson, His Holiness Bhakti Vinod Maharaj. His recording is also available now. So right now we will play the recording of His Holiness Bhakti Vinod Swami Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. It's a great pleasure for me to be here with all of you in the international effort to promote Srimad Bhagavatam in the year of Srila Prabhupada's 125th birth anniversary celebrations. I am honored to be here to speak a few words. I am just recollecting how amazingly wonderful service that Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has done to human society. The entire essence of the truth, the reality that all the great philosophers, scientists, rishis and sages from eons have been discussing and trying to understand has actually been brought down through ages, and that has been packed in such a wonderful way by Srila Prabhupada and being given out to people. So amazing a contribution. We cannot talk about it, without glorifying the contribution of so many great sages down the line. I'm so indebted to all of them. And we're so indebted to Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada for giving human society Srimad Bhagavatam. It's so precious. And therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam, Jiva Goswami said that it is emperor of all scriptures. Tadevam Shri Bhagavatam Sarvashastra Chakravarti Padam Aptam Iti Sthiti. He gives, therefore it is the emperor of all scriptures. I want to just recollect with you that in the year 2015, I also work with the BBT very closely in Kerala. We decided to offer to Srila Prabhupada on the 50th anniversary of ISKCON that who would like to Prabhupada's voyage. He came to Cochin in Kerala. So we wanted to offer him the Srimad Bhagavatam in the Malayalam language, and we started work about 5 to 7 years before that. And some amazing things happened at those times. Prabhupada set his lotus feet in Cochin, and that is the place where he got the Srimad Bhagavatam from Bombay, and it went into the Jaladuta. And he was asked by somebody, someplace, that Swamiji, are you going to the Western world? Are you going to America? I heard. So Prabhupada is known to have said that, no, the Srimad Bhagavatam is going. I am accompanying. Very humble statement that Prabhupada made. And that was a historical time and day. It's August 21st, 22nd, 1965, when Prabhupada was in Cochin. and the Bhagavatam went on board. And today it has gone all over the world. Like it's mentioned that Bhakti will go to foreign lands. In the Padma Purana it states. And so Prabhupada said he is accompanying in his own humble way. And since then we have seen Bhagavatam being distributed so widely, unprecedented anywhere in history. And that is because of all the wonderful devotees who are very dedicated to Srila Prabhupada's words of distributing his books, especially the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Bhagavad Gita, the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhupada had mentioned that I want every gentleman to have the Chaitanya Charitamrita and Srimad Bhagavatam in the house. And so we are making this year a combo effort because the BBT is also offering the Chaitanya Charitamrita in Malayalam language on the 125th year. In the next 1 month, it will be officially released. And I want to tell you the good news that we did a pre-publication for the Srimad Bhagavatam in 2015 because I didn't have funds to produce it. And then I was amazed. I did not know what to do, how to do. And then I just went ahead and did a pre-publication offer. And you'll be amazed to know that I was able to collect the funds required for 1,000 sets of Srimad Bhagavatam by moving around all over in the Gulf area and other places where Keralites and Malayalis stay. And at that time, I understood 1,000 sets of the Bhagavatam and I got more than half the money required to print it. And people were very amazed that I was able to sell the books even before I printed them. So I mentioned this to Giriraj Maharaj and he was very, very happy and he embraced me in the airport and said, Prabhupada will be very happy to hear of the scheme. And he's told me that you must know there is always value forever for Srila Prabhupada's books, especially the Srimad Bhagavatam. And I believe that. Similarly, this year we have already reached 600 sets of the Chaitanya Charitamrita already booked by various yatras and various individuals and everything together. So I firmly believe that if we make this effort, these books will go out and they will give wonderful opportunity to many, many people to become Krishna conscious. So this is a great event on Bhadra Purnima Day that all over the world we are getting together and trying to make this effort with prayers at the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at the lotus feet of their Lordship Shri Radha Krishna, at the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada to empower everybody to take as many of these sets as possible. I'm reading a quote from the Purana. Yatra yatra bhaved vipra shastram bhagavatam kalau tatra harir yati tridashai saha narada. O Brahmana Narada, in Kali Yuga, wherever the scripture Bhagavatam is present, there Lord Hari will go, along with 30 principal demigods. I think it means 30 crores of demigods. With all of the demigods will actually land up there. So imagine every Bhagavatam you send to every house, Krishna is obliged to go along with all the devatas. And what can happen is rest left to our own imagination. Here we are trying to get some Brahmin communities in the border areas and all that in specific villages by telling them that the Shastra says, if you grihena tishtate yasya savipra swapachadamaha, if you do a Brahmana in Kali Yuga, if it does not have the scripture Bhagavatam in his house, he is worse than a dog eater. So we are trying to use these shlokas, we're trying to traditional people, and otherwise we are marketing the Bhagavatam as great adventures, stories, romance, and victory and war and all sorts of adventurous stories that you have in many different ways. Bhagavatam is so relevant to the world today. Talk about political crisis, talk about environmental crisis and climate change, talk about coronavirus, talk about social activism and social problems and everything. Bhagavatam is a solution we all know, and we are very, very happy to be taking part in this amazing global effort. And this is solidarity, this is consolidation of our determination and our cooperation to serve Prabhupada. And I am praying to their lordships and I'm praying to Srila Prabhupada to confer on all the wonderful devotees who are taking up this task, this sankalpa, to do the needful. Here in South India, amongst all the temples together, I think we have got nearly 2,500 to 3,000 Bhagavatam sets taken as Sankalpa. I think more are coming in. I'm not very sure about the exact number, but this is the approximate number of 2,500 and odd. So we are hoping to be able to do that, and we need all your blessings too. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Maharaj, for your very kind, wonderful inspiration of the Malayalam Bhagavatam sets, which you were describing about pre-publication order. So at this time, as we all know in India, that there is a beautiful temple opening happening in Bangalore, ICC. So many of our senior ISKCON leaders, especially Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Prachar Parivrajak Maharaj, and many other devotees have gone there to organize take part in the program. As a result of which, Bhakti Prachar Maharaj able to join us today. So he had told us yesterday that he will be not possible to come. As part of NIDC, Maharaj is NIDC chairman. So part of representation of NIDC, we have Rishi Kumar with us. Yes, he's also not available, so he sent a recording to us. So we will now play the recording of Rishi Kumar on behalf of NIDC. Hare Krishna.
I was at ISKCON Juhu for Mangala Arati, and they announced Bhadra Purnima and how there was an elevated seat kept next to Srila Prabhupada, and how everyone was advised that those of you who make the payments today could collect the Bhagavatam after having it been placed on a golden seat at the altar. So it's quite amazing how this whole Bhadra Purnima revolution has evolved. Just that we talk about how the famous quotation that Srila Prabhupada of Bhadra Purnima is there about gifting Bhagavatam. Very interestingly, this morning I was delivering a class on the first canto, first chapter, first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam. And in that, Prabhupada clearly says, anyone who makes a gift of this great work on a full moon day attains to the highest perfection of life by returning to Godhead. So Prabhupada's giving this underlying message right through. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions that just like the Lord appears as Matsya among fish, Varaha among animals, as the Hamsa among birds, as the Swayam Bhagavan Krishna among humans, and Upendra among the demigods or Vamana, the demigods, we just celebrated Vaman Dvadashi. Similarly, he has appeared as the crown jewel of scriptures, Srimad Bhagavatam, among the Vedas, to restore Dharma. And just like the sun has 12 months, 12 forms, similarly Bhagavatam has 12 cantos. So this Purana Arka. And it is clearly mentioned that the Lord reveals his form only to that person to whom he chooses. Yamaevesha Brunate Tena Labhyas Tasyesha Atma Vivrunate Tanam Swam, says the Mundaka Upanishad. But similarly, the Srimad Bhagavatam also reveals itself appropriately to the person whom Bhagavatam chooses. However, it is our duty to ensure that we reach the Bhagavatam to more and more. And in northern India, we have several large temples, both in terms of physical stature and in terms of size of congregation. Whether it is ISKCON Delhi, east of Kailash, whether it's Noida, Vrindavan, which technically is not in the division, cannot be brought with UP. It is in this transcendental realm, but still geographically. Kanpur, and now we have Dwarka and Rohini huge temples coming up. There is Jaipur, there is Ujjain. So practically every big state in the northern India has huge temples, and therefore they're all, most of them have pledged, wherever their pledges missing, we'll try and ensure that the pledges are updated. And we of course talked about Gurugram recently. That's another medium-sized, big-sized temple coming up. And apart from that, bigness also comes in the opportunity that is available, whether it's Himachal Pradesh and Kashmir, which are practically empty, unpreached to areas. We are having 2-3 preaching centers, huge scope for distributing Bhagavatam also. And in NCR, we have a huge scope, Delhi NCR, huge scope for engagement, with over 3,000 to 5,000 people getting involved in marathon only. And this Bhadra marathon also be trying to ensure more and more people, even having extensive pledges happening for the leaders of NCR for Srimad Bhagavatam. And very interestingly, in Noida, I was there recently. It was a wonderful idea that they have. They have a Bhagavad Katha with different speakers just around this Bhadra Purnima. And at the end of the Katha, they push Bhagavatam sets. And apart from that, of course, internet is going in a big way. We have the websites of most of the Northern India temples looking at Bhadra Purnima. So, without taking much time from everybody's schedule, we pray to Srimad Bhagavatam to reveal himself to whoever he chooses and to make us instruments to please Srila Prabhupada, who so gloriously preached the message of Srimad Bhagavatam everywhere. And by serving the book Bhagavat, we will be serving Srila Prabhupada, the person Bhagavat also, and vice versa. Thank you very much for letting me address some of my own aspirations for myself and for the region I represent for Bhagavatam distribution. I pray to all the senior Vaishnavas and seek the blessings that this great robust target has been taken up by most of the temples in North to be met. As always, we look up to our sources of inspiration like Srila Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj and his Gurudev Kiranand Prabhu, several other senior leaders, this Mahaman Prabhu. And from their inspiration, we hope to draw more and distribute more. Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Rishi Kumar Bhu, for giving a wonderful report of the NIDC area. At this time, we are going to play the video recording of His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, who could not join us because he is now very busy in the ICC new temple installing deities. So let us hear from Jayapataka Maharaj, who is Vani. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Happy to announce this special opportunity.
We are very happy to announce this special opportunity
To take shelter of Lord Krishna.
to take shelter of Lord Krishna.
He said that after he would leave, he would remain in the Kali in two forms.
He said that after he leaves, he will remain in Kali Yuga in two forms.
One was the book avatar and one was the person.
One was the book avatar and one was the person.
Book Bhagavat and person Bhagavat.
Book Bhagavat and person Bhagavat.
So, Prabhupada, as the person Bhagavat, he came and distributed the book Bhagavat all over the world.
So Prabhupada, as the person Bhagavat, he came and he distributed the book Bhagavat all over the world.
So, we have the special mercy now to get the book Bhagavat.
So we have the special mercy now to get the book Bhagavat.
The book Bhagavat is something that we can keep in our house and we can read it.
Book Bhagavat is something which we can keep in our house and read it.
Since the Bhagavat is a literary incarnation of the Lord,
Since the Bhagavat is the literary incarnation of the God,
the sound incarnation,
the sound incarnation.
so therefore our house becomes a holy place of pilgrimage.
Therefore, our house becomes a holy place of pilgrimage.
All the devas come and offer their obeisances to the book Bhagavat.
All the devas come and offer their obeisances to the book Bhagavat.
So during Bhadra Purnima, by distributing one Bhagavatam set,
During Bhadra Purnima, by distributing one Bhagavatam set,
one is able to achieve Golok Vrindavan.
one is able to achieve Golok Vrindavan.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Bhadra Campaign Maharaj, for having sent your recording. It was indeed very well enlightening to hear from you about the Bhadra Campaign and the Srimad Bhagavatam glories. We are almost at the end of our session here, with few devotees remaining. At this time, we got a last minute audio and clip of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, who is also practically traveling in India now. So we'll request our organizers to play Radhanath Maharaj's video.
We're being given opportunities to reciprocate with Srila Prabhupada's love. Throughout my devotional life, I heard and I've recalled in many ways a simple statement of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada was asked, how could we best serve you? Srila Prabhupada said, simply receive what I'm giving you and share it with others. First, share it among yourselves, the devotees, and then share it with the world. Srila Prabhupada put more of his life and more of his energy into his Srimad Bhagavatam than practically anything else. To receive his mercy is to study it, to learn it, to feel Srila Prabhupada's divine grace in every word that he's speaking. And Srila Prabhupada, when he established our movement, every day at every temple is Srimad Bhagavatam class. First is Mangalarti, where we chant the prayers of the greatest commentator of Srimad Bhagavatam, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And we follow the essence of the Bhagavatam by chanting our japa. And then we have a class every day on Srimad Bhagavatam. One verse a day. How Srila Prabhupada wanted us to go deep into the study. An entire class on one verse, just expanding on his purport. So in this way, we're sharing the Srimad Bhagavatam with each other at every temple. And then book distribution. All of Srila Prabhupada's books, whatever book it is based on the teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam. To receive what he's given us and to share it with others. This wonderful event of Bhadra Purnima, Srimad Bhagavatam distribution, is such a blessing. To share the teachings of Lord Chaitanya in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam with the whole world to our capacity. The Srimad Bhagavatam is so rare, durlabha. But by Srila Prabhupada and Mahaprabhu's mercy, there's no shortage of how we can receive entire 12 canto sets. During the times of Mahaprabhu's associates, it took years to get one volume. Here, we can have it in our homes, and we can distribute them in our temples. In our own homes, we can distribute. The Srimad Bhagavatam gives this wonderful benediction that simply by giving as a gift the Srimad Bhagavatam on the Bhadra Purnima, such a blessing we get. We're preparing to go back to the spiritual world. Yes, this is an opportunity to serve and to please Srila Prabhupada and all of our acharyas who live the Srimad Bhagavatam. How proud they will be of each and every one of you all of our acharyas and parampara live for the Srimad Bhagavatam, and to each and every one of us who are making an effort to read it and distribute it. Can never be calculated, the blessings we will receive.
Thank you, Radhanath Maharaj, for your wonderful video presentation on the glories of Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavatam set, how Srila Prabhupada has beautifully revealed the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam through his purports, and how during the morning program we have the Mangalarati, Japa, and also daily Srimad Bhagavatam class, all because of Srila Prabhupada's wonderful arrangement of the morning program. So at this time, we have received a recording of the EIDC chairman, His Grace Nadu Gopal Prabhu. So we'll play that, and eventually after that we will show the Yajna again and we will conclude our talk. Thank you so much, Hari.
As ISKCON is...
Yeah, we can hear. Thank you.
Our preaching is expanding tremendously. This also somehow, it also means that we're also facing with a lot of problems within the house, within the, the beautiful home that Prabhupada built, where everyone can take shelter in. A lot of misunderstandings. But one thing I have noticed, that Bhadra Purnima, book distribution, it really unites everyone. Sometimes there is problems between misunderstanding between the congregation and the temple. But transcendental activities such as Bhadra Purnima really unites everyone. That I have personal witness. The Prabhupada so wonderfully is making sure that we stay united. And book distribution is definitely one of the major service we can do to make sure that we are all united in the mission of Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada wrote a poem called Markine Bhagavat Dharma in a Bengali, beautiful poem. It literally means that Prabhupada has gone to America to establish Bhagavat Dharma, not anything else. Prabhupada himself says that he did not go to America alone. Bhagavatam was going and he was assisting the Bhagavatam to go to America. And we can see that how tens and thousands of devotees are inspired to read Srimad Bhagavatam, and their life is totally changed in a wonderful way. Somehow or other, previously, so much importance was not given to this Bhadra Purnima festival. But now we can see devotees from all over the world, practically every center is taking part in this wonderful service. And it's really uniting all the devotees together. There are so many exalted devotees are here. I seek their blessings, that all the devotees in Eastern Division and also in Bangladesh can dedicate their life for this wonderful service of distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, His Grace Nadu Gopal Prabhu, for your enlivening talk. So we have now once again with us beautiful live Yajna which is happening in Mayapur, being broadcasted here. We will now glance beautifully on this. We will actually visualize as if we are sitting there in Mayapur, taking part in the Yajna with all wonderful devotees of Mayapur, sannyasis, Prabhudis and Matajis.
idam krishnaya idam namama om ahuschate nalinanabhapadaravidam yogeshwarer hridi vichintyamagadago samsarakupapatitottaranavalambam geham jusham apimanasya udiyat sadana svaha idam krishnaya idam namama om bhur svaha idam vishnave idam namama om bhuva svaha idam achyutaya idam namama om swasvaha idam narayanaya idam namama om bhurbhuva swasvaha idam anantaya idam namama atha vidhunamagni avahana harihi om Agnayahivi tayai grinano havyadatariai nihota satsi barahai shri barahai sha Shantish, Shantish, Shantihi. Om Bhur Svaha idam Vishnave idam namama. Om Bhava Svaha idam Achyutaya idam namama. Om Swasvaha idam Narayanaya idam namama. Om Bhuva Swasvaha idam anantaya idam namama. Many devotees don't have Jobuntil. Hare Krishna, je bhakto kache Jobtil nahi ekটু হাত তুলবেন প্লিজ। বাকি সবার থালাতে জবার তিল আছে? স্টক শেষ? খুব ভালো। হয়ে গেল আমার কাছে স্টক নেই একটু একটু করে দিয়ে দিন সবাইকে
Hare Krishna. That was very beautiful yajna. We really felt, I personally felt that I was in Mayapur there. Hopefully next year we can all be there, personally, physically attending this yajna and taking benefit of that yajna. Meanwhile, we also should also distribute Srimad Bhagavatam sets all over, wherever, whichever places we are now. Today is the day, the Bhadra Purnima Tithi day. Srimad Bhagavatam 12 canto mentions that how if you distribute Srimad Bhagavatam or donate Srimad Bhagavatam, then the path of going back to God at Goloka Vrindavan is paved in. So we request all the devotees that kindly distribute Srimad Bhagavatam sets far and wide. We have a lot of time still remaining. Today is a deep day when we can distribute this book, but we can continue our endeavors. On 15th of October is the last day of submitting the scores of Bhagavatam sets. The ICC Bhadra Purnima group. The details are already given in details to all the leaders. So we request all the devotees, the leaders to kindly gear upon. And if they have not yet begun the marathon, kindly begin it today with the Bhadra Purnima Tithi. And as you all know, this time, for the first time, we'll be having the physical award ceremony. So an ICC meeting in Vrindavan on 31st of October, we will be giving awards to the big temple, medium temple, small temple, center, exchange center, outpost, all coach categories, number 1, number 2, number 3 prizes. So, of course, we are not looking for prizes, but most important thing, we want to please Srila Prabhupada, we want to please Srimad Bhagavatam, and endeavor that if we get some prizes, it will inspire each other so that we can do more book distribution next year. Thank you all devotees for joining us today for this online Bhadra Purnima Yajna event live from Mayapur, and also hearing from devotees, ISKCON leaders from all over the world in this special program. So we'll conclude here by chanting once the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Granth-raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Bhadra Purnima Srimad Bhagavatam Marathon ki jai. Hare Krishna.